Hello, I'm Emily Navas and I am presenting on my technology mentoring assignment. So choosing a mentee was a very easy decision for me. This year, our district has decided to start moving towards one-to-one implementation using Chromebooks. So last year, teachers were asked to apply for Chromebook cards, and this year, 7 teachers at my school were given Chromebook cards to start using this year. One of the teachers that applied was a teacher who is very excited about the use of technology but has a lot of fears and anxieties of actually using it in her classroom. So she applied for a car, and when she got it, I think the fears kind of set in, and she almost an entire quarter had gone by, and her students still had not used Chromebooks in her classroom. She had not even unlocked her cart. And I knew that she, with some assistance, could really start using them in a more effective way. So when I approached her to be my mentee, she was super excited, very eager to learn, and only gave me one condition that I didn't use her real name. So for this assignment, she will be nicknamed Mrs. ABC. So we sat down together once she agreed to be my mentee and decided that our focus was going to be lessons on using Chromebooks and using Google Apps. So we came up with 5 goals for this mentorship. By the end of the mentorship, she should be able to access her drive easily, create and share documents with both her peers, so her coworkers, and her students. She will be able to instruct students to create and share documents with her and their team members, and create assignments on Google Classroom, as well as accessing and grading them on Google Classroom. We met Mondays and Thursdays after school. Mondays was usually days where we would kind of map out the week, prepare any worksheets or files that needed to be created, and Thursday was the time for reflection and looking forward to the following week. On days she actually used technology, I would also check in with her in the morning before implementation and in between periods to make sure that there were no issues that arose, and to kind of work out the kinks as she went through her day. I also added myself as a student on her Google Classroom so that she could always see what the students were going to see before the lesson, so she was prepared for any questions that they had. On the first week, we determined our goals. We reviewed the basics of Google Apps, Drives, Docs, and Slides, and we looked at her lessons for the following week to determine how we could incorporate technology. She decided to use an assignment that I use in my own classroom where the students are creating a collaborative Google slide that they will present to the class. So on Thursday, we went through the assignment. I taught her how to create the assignment on Google Classroom. She looked at it through the student's perspective so that the following day she could introduce it to her students. So that next week was a super busy week for her. She had technology use every day. On the first day was a basic intro. The students would take out their Chromebooks, reviewed rules, signed out, signed in, practiced charging, returning, that kind of thing. Day 2, the research assignment was assigned, and the kids were doing research on Google. The third day, she was going to have them start working on their slides, and she did not feel comfortable with walking them through the steps of creating a slide and sharing it out. So for this day, I actually had someone watch my room for a couple periods, and I came in and I taught her class. I modeled what she should be doing when she's asking students to create documents, share documents, and sending them and sharing them with their classmates and with herself. And then in her other period, she taught it to her classes, and I was just there to kind of be supportive if she had any questions. So I modeled it for her, and then she did it on her own for the rest of the day. And the rest of the week, the students were working on their slides and presenting to the class. And then after that, we kind of looked at what lessons she had coming up, and instead of trying to give her an assignment that I've used in my classroom, we instead looked at the lessons she already did and figured out where we could substitute, using substitution in the SAMR model with lessons that already existed. And she decided on a collaborative poetry assignment, which used a Google Doc. So she herself created the doc and created the assignment on Google Classroom without my assistance. I was just there watching her do it, and it was very exciting for both of us that she remembered how to do all the steps. And then she kind of went through the week on her own, and I checked in with her at the end, and everything had gone really well. There were some kind of behavioral issues that happened, kids leaving comments on her on the classroom, like silly comments. So we talked about how to handle these situations and kind of how to set expectations and how to have consequences set up for things like that. So I had her write in a reflection for me to kind of tell me what she had learned in this process, and you can go through and read it. But she basically expressed having a lot of fear in the beginning, and that she'd never used her Chromebooks, and how now she has been able to use it several times, and she explained a couple things that they did, and in the end she says that although she still needs support, she's more confident than that she can continue to learn and grow, and has been very appreciative of the mentorship, and how I've helped her use this new technology to do new things with her students. My own reflection, I could not be more proud of her. She was so great. She was such a great sport. She put so much effort into trying these new things. I was really excited about this model of professional development, and I've already started talking to my principal about mentoring other teachers on campus. I've paired up with Ariana Cazares, who is another teacher in this program and who also obviously has done this mentorship assignment, and we've actually taken this on as our adjunct duty to offer our mentoring services to other teachers. And as we're setting up this professional development, it's just been really exciting to work one-on-one with the teacher and see this progress, and see her go and see her become confident, because that was definitely it. It was just fear. And so now that she's kind of overcome this fear, everything else should just go much more smoothly. And of course, I will be continuing my mentorship with her, and we will continue developing her skills with Google Classroom and all of the different apps that Google has to offer. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this assignment, because it was so cool to mentor a teacher in this way. Thank you for watching.